If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case. We're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch!
The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
It's time for the excitement of West Virginia High School Volleyball featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home, CMA Honda, Kelly Allstate Insurance, L.A. Roberts Jewelers, Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Milestone Realty, the Marius Group, Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Orsini's Home Store, Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Sutton and Janelle Law Firm, W. Harley Miller Systems. Now let's send it out to the broadcast booth and join our TV10 broadcast team for tonight's coverage.
Welcome into the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. EPAC volleyball here tonight between the Spring Mills Cardinals and the Washington Patriots. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin here with you on the call. Our on-site producer Spencer Dupuis, cameraman for this evening Braden Schaffner, Nick Verzolini back in the studio. Tonight we have a matchup here between some young and upcoming teams in the EPAC. Here in the Eastern Panhandle, the Spring Mills Cardinals and the Washington Patriots, two young head coaches, one in their first year in Micaiah Nolan on the Washington side, and a second-year head coach on the Spring Mills side, Haley Wolf. We'll bring in my broadcast partner for this evening, Colin McLaughlin. Colin, I think this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup between these two teams here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how these two teams match up against one another because, as you mentioned, both teams very young, as well as being led by young head coaches. So it'll be fun to see how these JV programs and varsity programs fare tonight. And I think the way we've been looking at things, we're expecting a very competitive match between the two schools just because, and when we compared, since we haven't seen them play each other, but we've compared them opponent-wise, and both teams were able to do well against Martinsburg, so you expect them to do well against each other.
Right, both of these teams took Martinsburg to 5 sets, each team beating the Bulldogs on their own home courts. We did not have it live on TV10, but these teams did play on September 8th, and that was a 3-1 set road victory for the Spring Mills Cardinals. So That's what we have to go off of for tonight when their first matchup. We did see that Spring Mills on Tuesday lost in straight sets to Jefferson. So that's a team that was getting their first regional win on the season in that game against the Cardinals. So we'll see if the Cardinals can bounce back tonight.
Yeah, that match that you just mentioned against Jefferson is something that they're trying to just wipe out of their memory and almost act as if it never happened. But unfortunately for them, it did, and you got to adapt. You got to bounce back, and hopefully for Spring Mill's sake, if you're a Cardinal fan, they do that for you. But at the same time, Washington is trying to do something that they've never done before at Spring Mills, Dylan.
That's right. In the years that Spring Mills and Washington have played volleyball here, there's only been 2 wins by Washington over Spring Mills in 2016 and 2017. Both of those wins, though, came at Washington High School. It means the Patriots have never won in the Cardinal Coliseum in volleyball. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup here tonight. And again, coming off of that loss to Jefferson on Tuesday, when I talked to Coach Haley Wolf of Spring Mills before the game, brought up that loss, and you could tell that it still stung a little bit, but obviously they're going to, like you said, Colin, try to wipe that out of their memory banks.
I'm really looking forward to seeing these two and just seeing who wins up front with the height battle. Both of these teams, varsity-wise, have a lot of girls who can really, on the outside, put power behind their kill. So I'm looking to see if they're able to make sure it's accurate tonight, limit those mistakes, and at the same time, if you can get them off blocks, out of bounds, and score points that way.
Right, we saw a really good game last time we were here at Spring Mills from Samantha Stevens, number 14, a lot of size up front on their side, and then it was Autumn Penwell last Thursday against Martinsburg that made a big impact for Washington. So I think this is going to be a fun matchup here tonight. We'll get things set for you in just a little over 10 minutes for the JV game, and I think the Spring Mills JV team we've seen multiple times has been pretty impressive for themselves here. So I like this. I think the JV game will also be a good matchup because it'll be more experience for these teams and for Coach Micaiah Nolan, who started off the season as the JV coach and has now graduated to being both the JV and the varsity coach. So.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward for a great atmosphere tonight because it's a Thursday night. The football team for Spring Mills is just finishing up their dinner, and it looks like some of them will be sticking around to try and form a student section, and we've seen that done on other matches that we've had here inside the Cardinal Coliseum, and they like to make it rowdy, maybe not as well as some other schools that we've seen. It's going to be tough to top the atmosphere we had Tuesday between the two best teams in the state.
Right.
But I still expect a pretty solid atmosphere tonight here at Spring Mills High.
Yeah, and that Jefferson student section on Tuesday against Spring Mills was a big key in the win for the Cougars. So, but this time it's the Cardinals that have that on their side instead of playing against them. So that'll be another thing to watch out for. And we'll go ahead, we'll take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll keep breaking down this matchup between Spring Mills and Washington that will come in just about 10 minutes. You're watching EPAC Volleyball here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin here getting you ready for JV volleyball that'll come in about 8 minutes here between Spring Mills and Washington. Two teams that are in the middle of the pack in the EPAC. As we just saw on Tuesday, we saw the matchup between Musselman and Hedgesville. We'll look at the EPAC standings right now. Musselman is currently in the lead, and it's 5-0 in the region. Hedgesville 5-1 in the region. Their only loss coming to Musselman in that Tuesday game. Musselman is 26-1 overall. Hedgesville at 15-4. Spring Mills currently sits at third place with 3 wins in the region. Then Martinsburg and Washington coming in with 2 wins in the region, and then Jefferson with that 1 win that they got on Tuesday against Spring Mills. So there's a lot of positioning going on, a lot of positional battles going on in the middle of that EPAC to try to get into the front of that kind of second tier after the state finalists there, Colin.
Yeah, it seems like you expect any given night in the EPAC, it's Musselman will typically be the better team. Hedgesville can beat everybody below them. But from there on out, the 4 schools in Washington, Jefferson, Spring Mills, and Martinsburg, it all depends on who's playing better that night. It is a coin toss up until that point. It has to go off of who makes the fewer errors and who can be able to position themselves, take the early lead, and not allow big rallies, because once you get down, and we even saw that for Hedgesville, unfortunately, in set 3 on Tuesday against Musselman, in that third set, at one point it was, I believe, 9-1 or maybe even 10-1, and you could tell because of that, it basically was over at that point. I don't want to say Hedgesville had given up, because they definitely did not and never would against Musselman, but you could tell that Musselman had its foot on the gas pedal, and that goes for any team in that situation.
Right, I think it's something that we have to understand when we're watching these sorts of games on the EPAC level, whether it's football, whether it's volleyball, whether it's any sort of sport, is that the atmosphere can be an even bigger factor in a game than when it comes to these higher levels of sports. We have to remember these are 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that we're watching play here. It's just sort of the nature of the beast that they're not going to be able to handle a sort of, adversarial atmosphere the same way that a professional player or a senior in college is going to be able to handle something. So a lot of times it can be that home court advantage that can swing things one way or another.
I still expect a competitive match. As you mentioned in the previous segment, the last time these two teams met up on September the 8th, it was Spring Mills getting a 3-1 win in 4 sets there. But each set was competitive other than basically the third set. Set number 1, it was decided by 3 points in favor of Spring Mills. Set 2, it was only 2 points that Washington won by. That third set, which kind of gave Spring Mills the edge, was a 10-point win. And then the 4th set, they were able to hang on and win by 4 to get that 3-1 decisive factor. And if it's similar to that situation and it comes down to a third set that you need to absolutely dominate to get momentum on your side.
Right, and with these younger teams, they're not always that easy to predict how they're going to play. We saw Washington and Martinsburg last Thursday. I think Washington pretty easily could have taken that game 3-0 in a sweep, but it ended up going to 5 sets. Both of those teams kind of went back and forth, taking sets where maybe we thought they should have won or they should have lost, and it ended up going the other way. And I think that sort of inexperience that these teams have, it can lead to unpredictable results like that. And I think that's what's going to make for an interesting matchup tonight.
It'll be interesting to see if you allow momentum to keep going. That was something that we kind of thought might have been an issue in that Washington match. Even though they did get the win against Martinsburg, it seemed like sometimes when they allowed Martinsburg back, it was because they allowed too long of a rally. If that scenario happens and it's Spring Mills that is down by 5 or 6, comes back to tie it up, before you get to that tie, you got to call the timeout.
Right, and this is, again, if this happens tonight, Spring Mills beat Martinsburg the last time that we saw them, the team that record-wise is number 3 in the EPAC as opposed to Martinsburg at number 4. So it'll be a little bit of a tougher task for the Washington Patriots tonight, especially away as opposed to when they were the home team last Thursday. With that, we'll take one more 2-minute break. And on the other side, we'll be back for the JV game between the Patriots and the Cardinals. You're watching EPAC Volleyball here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School as the scoreboard runs down and we're getting ready for the JV game between the Washington Patriots and the Spring Mills Cardinals. We'll get you in the rosters for both sides. JV team coached by Anela Dozier on the Spring Mills side. Number 1 is Addison Grove. Number 4, Addie Salvia. Number 7, Andrea Graham. Number 8, Ava Campbell. Number 9, Angelica Graham. Number 10, Brooke Everhart. Number 11, Riley Ratchford. Number 12, Brianna Beckton. Number 13, Bella Abshire. Number 14, Gabriella Ball. Number 16, Kennedy Eiler. And number 17, Maya Williams. And then the JV side for the Washington Patriots. Number 2, Parker Matzek. Number 4, Jaslyn Grimm. Number 5, Kyrie Page. Number 6, Scarlett Caldwell. Number 12, Bentley Yoder. Number 14, Catherine Dosey. Number 16, Lauren Spitzer. Number 17, Cadence Burke. Number 18, Madison Whitmer. Number 20, Gretchen Brose. Number 21, Rebecca Klein. Number 23, Anna Myers. Number 25, Aubrey Armstrong. Number 26, Paige Purdue. The teams are in their final huddle for the games. Coach Nolan and Coach Wolf giving last-second adjustments and pep talks to their teams as they hit the floor. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin here with you tonight. Colin, getting ready to get things started here.
Yes, and it is going to be a little bit confusing, so we're going to do the best that we can because both teams are wearing red jerseys. So for those of you tuned in, Washington is the team in red on our left side with the blue numbers, and it is Spring Mills in the red on the right side of the court with the white numbers.
Yes, I guess we didn't get the pregame communication from the sides. I guess they have it's red away uniforms for Washington and red home uniforms for Spring Mills, and we didn't get the communication that one wanted to wear red. Obviously, it's usually the home team that decides which uniform they get to wear, and then it's the other side that adjusts from there. So we'll see both teams in red to get things squared off and keep track on both sides. Again, Washington will be on your left, Spring Mills on your right.
I feel like Washington has a little bit of more a vibrant red compared to Spring Mills. It almost looks a little bit more faded. I don't know.
Could be newer uniforms
maybe
on the Washington side.
Speaking of new, when we got here, the scores table for Spring Mills. My goodness, we might have to figure out where they got that because it is awesome. Great technology, speakers built in, and televisions on the front.
Yeah, how about that? We're seeing both teams take the court now. We'll get ready for this matchup on the JV teams for both sides, Spring Mills and Washington. The whistle blows, and here they go. They will set up.
At least the liberos are wearing different colors for us.
Yeah, they didn't decide to do the same thing there on that side, at least. It's a white libero for Washington, and a blue libero for Spring Mills, hiding in the huddle at the moment. So we're ready here. Final pep talks and chants from both sides. Spring Mills and Washington, JV, getting you ready here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We'll see who the starting lineups for each side are, who takes the court to start things out. On the Washington side, it's number 2 Parker Matzek. It's Aubrey Armstrong, Scarlett Caldwell, Cadence Burke, Jaslyn Grimm, and Paige Purdue. And for Spring Mills, it's Addison Grove, Riley Ratchford, Andrea Graham, Brooke Everhart, Ava Campbell, and Kennedy Eiler. We'll see a lot of these Spring Mills players on the JV side in the varsity game as well. Brooke Everhart especially gets a lot of playing time. They use a lot of their JV players up on the varsity level.
Looks like Spring Mills will be the one serving first, and back to serve is Rochford.
Riley Ratchford, number 11, the usual starting server for the Cardinals. They'll keep their rotation the same for this game. On the Washington side, they are figuring out their final rotation to start things out. Getting things moved around is Coach Micaiah Noland. Making sure all her players are set in the right spot.
Already under a little bit of a delay as well from earlier because we had a issue with the net that originally was getting set up out of nowhere. It just completely, I think, unfortunately for Spring Mills, snapped. And
yeah, as we were setting up,
get a new one.
We heard sort of a crack or a snap sound, and all of a sudden the net went from being set up to down on the ground. But they eventually got it fixed. Hopefully that doesn't come back and rear its ugly head once again during the game.
I think it was fortunate that they had the one that they could use because I believe there's no freshman match tonight, so I think they had to go over into the auxiliary gym and grab that net.
Whatever works. We're still getting things ready over on this side. The down judge and line judge, they're ready to get started. They point and send Ratchford back to serve. I think they're getting ready to blow the whistle to start this out. And there is the whistle. Riley Ratchford will start it out. Her serve goes. It's an overpass. It goes into the net. It's an ace to start things out for Ratchford.
Great start, just putting it right in the middle of where all of Washington was, and Trying to step forward was Parker Matzik, but couldn't do so.
So Ratchford will go for another one. They'll send it to Matzik, who's high up in the air, almost hitting the basketball court, the basketball hoop. They'll send it to Grove. Ratchford will set up. And it's a hit from Eiler that doesn't go over. That'll knot things up at 1. First point on the board for Washington. They'll send the freshman Scarlett Caldwell back to be their first serve of the match. She sends it over, and it's another overpass.
Got to take advantage if you're Washington.
Purdue sets it up for Burke. It ends up being a free ball. From the back line, it's Everhart. It's a dump that ends up being seen by Spring Mills. It's a down ball to get it over. Another free ball on the Washington side. Ratchford will set up for Everhart once again. And it hits the ground. Off the hands of Armstrong. 2-1 Cardinals.
Even though you didn't see it at the end there and it allowed for the point, throughout that entire volley, there was some great communication on both sides. It just, unfortunately for Washington, broke at the very last second.
It's now Eiler serving. It's another ace for the Cardinals.
Tough one to judge there for Caldwell.
That was. So that's 2 out of 3 serves going for aces so far on the Spring Mills side. And Eiler will set up, see if she can get 2 in a row. And she does. Went over to Whitmer, but her first touch ends up on the court, makes it 4-1.
Again, it was another close serve that you weren't 100% sure if it was staying in or going out, and made the judgment call right at the last second.
Eiler sends another one the way of Whitmer, and that's 3 in a row. Kennedy Eiler with 3 aces. Makes it 5-1.
Now we'll see Page check in for Whitmer.
Another freshman, the young team on the Washington side. Young team for both teams. And there's a 4th. 4 aces for Kennedy Eiler. 6-1. Eiler will send another one. It's a tough adjustment there. Scarlett Caldwell, that was the last second adjustment on that. Will send over to Graham, and she gets the kill. Andrea Graham with the kill makes it 7-1.
And I remember her from the last match that we had together, Dylan. She was a key contributor for this Spring Mills team, and she's already off to a great start.
It's a good front line on this Spring Mills JV team with Ratchford and Everhart and Graham. And that serve's going to go a little too far. It had been 5 straight aces for Kennedy Eiler. Can't get that one. She'll check out, and Angelica Graham will check in. And it'll be Purdue sending this one in the net. The point goes back the way of Spring Mills. They'll serve again, up 8-2 now.
And that one hurts after you allowed a long rally. You finally got the serve back. You have a net error.
That's Ava Campbell serving, and that's another one. They call it in. Another ace for Spring Mills.
Don't think Washington agreed with that.
That looks like it was really close one way or the other. Our volunteer lines person calls it in. It's 9-2. And that serve will be received by Page. They'll go back to her. Ends up a free ball. Ratchford up by the net sends it across. It's a roof for Parker Matzek. 9-3.
I almost thought she touched the net on her way down, but it was still a great roof nonetheless. Just got to keep an eye on that. Good point for Washington.
Page will come off, and Aubrey Armstrong will enter for the Patriots. It'll be Jaslyn Grimm serving. The only junior on this JV team for the Patriots. It's Everhart. Sends it for the Cardinals, and that one never went. Cadence Burke didn't get it over. It's 10-3 Spring Mills in the first set. So now we'll go over to Brooke Everhart, who is a contributor as well on the varsity team. She sends this one, and it's close up to the net, ends up being overpassed. 2 in a row as Matzek hits it into the net and back to herself. Double contact, 11-3.
I think initially they thought that overpass was going to fully go over the net, and then they realized it was dropping about a foot shy.
Everhart sends another one, and it's another ace for Spring Mills.
These serves so far have been perfectly placed to make them have to decide at the last second.
The Washington serve-receive hasn't been able to get it going. It's 12-3, and we'll take that break with them during this timeout. 30 seconds. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Are you considering selling your home and don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Phone Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams at 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. It's 12-3 in the first set of the JV game between Spring Mills and Washington. Spring Mills will try to keep up the string of aces with Brooke Everhart.
That's why you called the timeout.
And there you go.
Or it's because of the announcer's jinx.
Might be a little bit of column A, a little of column B. We can always blame me. That's fine. Cadence Burke. And that one's going to sail over the heads of everyone. 13-4. So it's back up to a 9-point lead for the Cardinals. A strong start for them. So it's Andrea Graham now. And that one's going to be overpassed, and they tried to roof, but it's just a little too far from the net for that one to go over. So that ends up working out in the end for Washington.
The ball was just a little bit too far back of the net to try to just put that one back where it came.
So now it's Matzek on to serve. That one's tough. Graham has to go up for it. It ends up overpassed, but it's a free ball on the other side. Beautiful. And Ratchford makes them pay this time.
She noticed that all the defenders on Washington's side were up close to the 10 line, and she just tucked it in behind them.
So it's 14-5 now. Spring Mills leading this first set. As we'll see Addison Grove serve for the first time. Ava Campbell checking in. Gabriella Ball checking out. It's a little bit of a coaching adjustment on the Spring Mills side. The JV coach Anela Dozier not in attendance tonight, so it looks like Coach Wolf is kind of taking more of the helm in this JV game as well.
Looks like Washington got the situation figured out, almost. Now got to check the rotation on both sides.
Getting things adjusted for both sides. Again, 14-5.
Hopefully this is not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, so we always want to keep play going. Keep the pace up, as Jim Klein would say. There'll be a free ball on the Washington side over the head of Purdue. The Campbell, soft touch, it lands in the middle. I think just no one called that one for Washington. That makes it 15-5. Grove will serve once more, and it's another ace for the Cardinals. 16-5, an 11-point lead for Spring Mills in the first set.
Everything's just going the Cardinals' way, and that's what you want at home. They've been able to spot their serves perfectly, and
there's another. 17-5. I think it has to be about 3/4 of the 17 points that have come off of service aces. There's another one from Grove, and it'll be another one, 3 in a row. 18-5.
Just these first touches, unfortunately, for Washington, haven't been able to figure out where exactly to position themselves.
There's the second timeout by Micaiah Nolan in this set. We'll keep it here through this timeout. 18-5. Spring Mills leads Washington. Colin, it's just been a serving clinic on the Spring Mills side, or you can say that the serve-receive has not gone the way that Washington wants it to.
Yeah, everything is going Spring Mills' way, whether it's the serve or even when we do see a volley, they've been able to be on top of things and know in that situation either the kill needs to be full power and hope that it goes to the spot that you're trying to go to, or really to finesse it to make sure that it goes to the spot. And everything that they've done has been the right decision so far. And unfortunately for Washington, it's been the opposite.
Spring Mills now up by 13, 7 points away from the win in the first set, and it's going to be another ace out of the timeout. Puts the Cardinals up by 2 touchdowns, 14-point lead. Addison Grove, 4 straight aces, and we'll see if there's 5. Yes, it is. Looked like Purdue tried to get the one-handed dump over the head. That was a tough play to try to make. But it kind of came her direction sooner than she thought it would. 20-5. There's another. That is 6 aces in a row for Addison Grove. $21-5. Grove for another one this time. They'll set it up to the 10 line. It was Caldwell, and this one falls to the floor. Everhart the last to touch it on the Spring Mills side. So finally, for the first time in a while, it's Washington that gets the serve. And that one sails over the head of Andrea Graham. Makes it 22-6. So only 3 points to go for the first set victory is the Cardinals.
If that serve was just too strong from Armstrong.
They'll go back around to Riley Ratchford.
Tough crowd.
And there's another ace. 23-6. Go up. Spring Mills does. 2 more points, and they'll have themselves the first set in quick fashion. Ratchford slammed the ball down to herself. She'll go for another one. This one closed tight up to the net. Ends up being dumped over. And they'll send it back in 2. There's Burke. It goes out. 24-6. It's set point for Spring Mills.
The serve stays in the hands of the player that you especially wanted in Ratchford.
There we go. Ratchford try to finish it off. And that one stays in. 25-6 goes set number 1. Spring Mills takes the opening set victory. We'll take a 1-minute break between sets, get you ready for set number 2. Washington and Spring Mills volleyball here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 1 minute.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. First set of the JV game between Spring Mills and Washington. It goes 25-6 the way of the home team, the Spring Mills Cardinals. And Colin, it was really just all about the serve in that first set.
Yeah, might need to check if there's some grease on the volleyball or something, because it seemed like every first touch for Washington just kept going everywhere except for to a teammate. So hopefully in that huddle right now, Washington's able to figure some things out so we can see a little bit more of a competitive set, because that's what you always hope to see at this JV level. You never want to see a blowout. You want to see positive things on both sides. So hopefully the changes will be made, and if they're not, we're in for a quick one.
Yeah, you want as much time as possible out on the court in this JV game. These are younger players that are trying to grow their game and get prepared for varsity action later in their careers, perhaps even later in the night, because we will see players on the Spring Mill, just on the Spring Mill side, we'll see players like Brooke Everhart in the JV game. We might see Addison Grove, who multiple times has checked into the varsity game. Riley Ratchford's a swing player as well for Spring Mills. So these are teams that it's not just about the JV game. It's about them building on their careers through the high school level. You see some new players on both sides to start things out. On the Spring Mills side, number 4, Addie Salfia is checking in for the first time. Brianna Beckton as well, number 12 for the Cardinals. You see the court for the first time. Jaslyn Grimm starting things out on the Washington side. We wind down the last 10 seconds of our break here. And actually they will stop that and they'll just get ready to blow the whistle here, it looks like.
I still think it was about 12 seconds.
It's probably about the same amount of time, as Maya Williams will come off. Addison Grove staying on. And last second adjustments going on for both sides. Spring Mills already getting a little bit of a student section going for this JV game. A couple rows of students have come into the Coliseum, starting to get things going. Getting some chants, some claps, and stomps.
Well, we got another delay now as Washington's rotation is being completely adjusted to what they had, and they're really confused now.
Yeah, we saw that in the first set. They didn't quite start out the way that they wanted to, whatever may have been turned in.
I saw 4 or 5 of the 6 have to just completely flip-flop. And now they're being told on the other side, almost it seems like, to go back, and
just a bit of a confusion on both sides, it looks like, as we get ready to start the second set. I think we're about to blow the whistle to start it out, although our down judge is now looking back at the scorer's table to check out the roster. And there is the whistle. Washington will start things out. Scarlett Caldwell, first to serve, and there's an ace on the Washington side. After all of the aces we saw for Spring Mills in set number 1.
It was a perfectly placed serve that just died right at the end in front of Graham. Now we got a substitution. Codwell was getting ready to serve too.
Yeah, I'm sure if Jim Klein were here tonight, he would already be blowing gasket at all these delays. And there's another ace.
We know that Jim's tuned in, so we'll just wish him well. Hope he feels better soon so that he can be back in a week.
Absolutely. 2-0 Washington. To start out number 2. Set number 2. Caldwell, the serve over to Graham once again. Ratchford will go, and it's a hit by Grimm that goes backwards. You see Micaiah Nolan trying to coach up what Grimm should have done there to send that one the right way. It ends up a point for the Cardinals.
You could tell just from the body language it was get your feet set. Instead of trying to hit it from the side, you got to hit it straight on.
They'll send it back around to Ratchford, and that's an overpass just up into the net. Double contact for Burke, as it was a tough one for her to deal with, getting up right tight up to the net. As close as she could get without getting a violation.
I'm going to call her Air Ratchford. Watch how high she gets on these serves.
Right, she does get up there in the air. She'll send that one, and a little too much air on that one. That'll make it 4-2 for Washington. That's what our scoreboard says. So it's Paige Purdue for the Patriots. That's going to be overpassed. They'll take advantage, but it goes out. Burke got really excited there. Oh, it looked like a watermelon.
I liked the idea. She just didn't get the angle just down enough, unfortunately.
4-3. That one's tight. And that's in. 4-4. Another ace for Spring Mills.
Again, Washington not happy with that.
Yeah, you could tell the look on Coach Nolan's face. Don't think she agreed with that one.
I had a similar situation last set.
Tied at 4 now. Kennedy Eiler. And that's an ace. So here comes the ace train once again.
I was about to say, if I'm not mistaken, when that situation happened with the call on the line, I think that was the start of the last rally that we saw last set as well.
I think you're right. There's Kennedy Eiler. And this time she sends it. I think Eiler was the one that started out her serves last set with 4 in a row. And now after the service error, she'll come. On the Washington side. 5-5. That one close. It was a late decision by Grove to hit that one. It'll take a free ball from Ratchford. And that one's in. They thought it was going to go out on the Washington side. That's why you got to just play it. If you got to know your positioning, know your surroundings. That's going to give Spring Mills the lead.
I heard exactly from one of the varsity players what I was about to say. You got to move your feet. Follow that ball.
1 point lead for the Cardinals. Addison Grove serves. Overpassed to the Spring Mills side. What can they do with it? They get it over. Ooh. But they trip over each other makes them go under the net.
I was watching when Graham got tripped from Ratchford, but I don't know if I ever saw her cross that line. It's kind of tough to see the line because of the logo. It loses the blue there.
Yeah, from my angle, it seemed that she went over. Ratchford tries for the dump, but it goes in the net. Both teams doing all the things that our color analyst Jim Klein doesn't like to see so far. 7-7 on the scoreboard. Ratchford will set this one up to the other side to Salvia. That one goes into the net as well, giving Washington a 1 point lead once again.
Pass just was a little bit too far behind for that situation.
So it'll go over to Cadence Burke now. 8-7. That's a long serve, and they let it go. Makes it 8-8. A good read there by Graham and Grove to not send that one back. Tied at 8 now with the first serve from Addie Salvia.
I believe it's Maddie McDaniel. No? It's a 3. I know, but I don't see a 3 for JV. That's why I was thinking it's just McDaniel.
It is Addie Salvia.
Okay.
As actually was had a conversation with Addie Salvia before the game. That was her experience.
They say
about
no
what she's
cheering
dealing
for the
with.
student section? What happened?
I'm not sure. Coach Wolf has gone over to the student section. I suppose they don't like what they've been saying.
I didn't hear in that situation. I thought I heard just "Let's go Cardinals" earlier, but unless something was just said when we were trying to figure out my mistake of not knowing that Salvia was wearing number 3 tonight instead of number 4.
So whatever conversation was had over at the student section appears to be over now. Tied at 8. Salvia will serve, and her serve just doesn't quite get there. So
Yeah, it's such a long delay. That's frustrating, especially when you're the home side having to deal with an issue like that.
It's like icing the kicker. So it goes back the way of Washington. They're up by 1 now, 9-8. Be Parker Matzek with the pass there and take a tough adjustment from Spring Mills to get it over, and they don't.
Got to send that as a free ball. Too far back, the way the spin was on the ball. Just got to send it over and get ready to play defense.
That's 2 in a row for Washington, giving them a 2-point lead. 10-8. It'll be Matzek at it again. They'll go up to Andrea Graham. Off the top of the net. Ratchford with a good adjustment to still get it over. Maya Williams will set it up for Ratchford again, and that sends it too far. It's 11-8. So we've seen a bit of a different lineup from Spring Mills in the second set as opposed to
We've
that
seen a
dominant
really
first
good
set.
adjustment for Washington as well. Really limited the mistakes so far.
Matzek. And that first one will go over. And they're going to say it was prolonged contact. It was a lift by Armstrong. And that'll be a point for Spring Mills, 11-9. Now Matzek will check out. Kyrie Page will check in. So see Spring Mills can get their service game back to the level of the first set and regain the lead. Set this up. It'll be a free ball. Grove, Ratchford, Eiler. Volley back and forth here. It'll be another free ball. Caldwell. Ratchford will set this one up again. Williams, line drive. Received by Washington. You see Jaslyn Grimm received that hard shot from Maya Williams and then immediately started shaking her hand like it hurt. Still wincing, grabbing her wrist on that
She's
side.
grabbing her thumb.
The thumb.
Her right thumb, it looks like she might have just stubbed there.
So it'll be a free ball for Washington again. Spring Mills has cut the lead to 1, 11-10. Eiler off the block. It's overpass and out. And we're tied back up. 11 all.
I'm trying to see if she can move it. That's what it looks like she can, so that's a positive sign.
Yep, still sort of flexing it is Grimm. But she's staying with it, and there the first touch she has on it after that, she tries to send it over and it goes in the net, so that thumb might still be affecting her.
It was with that hand.
It was the right dominant hand there of Grimm. Spring Mills goes up 12-11. Graham will send it to Page, and it's another ace. We'll see if set number 2, Spring Mills can get the ace train out of the station. Andrea Graham will go for it again. Sends this one over, back to Page. Purdue will set up. It takes a free ball from Caldwell to prevent it. They'll go to the back line, Salvia. There's another free ball on the Washington side. Ratchford will set this one up to the 10 line for Grove. Ooh, good hit by Grove. And that one goes out.
I called for long contact anyway.
Either way, it's going to end up a point for Spring Mills. They're back up by 3. Spring Mills' largest lead of the second set as they try to close it out in straight sets. There's Page. That's a tough hit. Can they get it back over? Yes, they can. Graham, Ratchford will have to set it up. It's a down ball for Salvia, and that's going to go out to the right side. That makes it a 2-point game. 14-12 on the side of the Cardinals. Washington's already doubled what they got in set number 1. Aubrey Armstrong, the freshman. Her serve's going to go into the net. Spring Mills back up by 3. We've had no timeouts on either side yet in this set.
I feel like they've really needed them. It's been back and forth.
Yeah, not too much of a run from either team so far. Could say this 3-point lead for Spring Mills is the best run they've gotten in this set. Maya Williams, big long serve. She puts a lot of power on all of her hits. It looked like Page thought it was going to be too much, but it dropped in.
It's tough because of that air time. You see it floating, and you think it's just going to keep floating.
You see Nolan told Page to back up. I think that was the problem. She took some steps back, but she was close up to the net, and that's a rotation violation on Washington.
And that one hurts because the serve was over and out.
That was. So it's a 5-point lead now for Spring Mills, largest of the set. So this is the first thing resembling a bit of a prolonged run either side has had in this set. Williams this time goes in the net. Cuts the lead back down to 4, 17-13. Williams will check out. The libero Grove will come back in. So we're back over to Caldwell on the Washington side serve.
She's the one at the start of this set that had the great serves.
And there you go, there's another one. Started off the set with an ace, and she'll keep it rolling. Cuts the lead back down to 3.
And that's exactly what you need if you're Washington, to cut back in. Keep chipping away.
So number 6, Scarlett Caldwell, the freshman. Send another one. And Graham hits that one. Ratchford goes over for the set. Ends up a free ball. Overpassed. Tough diving play there.
Great save by Ratchford.
Salvia has to send the down ball. They'll go to Burke. And it's two hits on the Washington side. That's going to make it 18-14 Spring Mills.
I didn't see it. Did you?
I didn't notice it. But obviously we're farther away than the referees are. We'll go back to Riley Ratchford. Serve received by Madison Whitmer. Grove tough up to the net. It's a dump over by Ratchford. Good call there. She saw that the first touch there was going close to the net. She made the adjustment.
That foot, though, was really close to that line underneath.
It's
a good no call. But it was close.
About as close as she's able to get. Ratchford with an ace. Leads up to 6 points now. (20-14), Spring Mills. And there's a timeout from Micaiah Nolan. We'll take the break with them for 30 seconds. You're watching EPAC Volleyball, between Spring Mills and Washington here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. Spring Mills leads Washington in JV action 20-14 in the second set, and they lead 1-0. So if they can close this one out, it'll be a victory for the junior varsity Cardinals. They'll go back to Ratchford on the serve. She gets it in. Whitmer, that's overpass. Last second decision by Eiler to let it go.
Great communication from Graham, though. Making sure that Eiler realized that was going out.
So that puts the Cardinals 3 points away from set point and match point. Off the net, it's an ace. Riding the tape. Extends the lead to 8.
Glad Caldwell's okay there. It came and bounced right up into her face.
22-14. Spring Mills leads. Ratchford goes again, and this time not quite high enough to ride the tape. It lands on the Spring Mills side.
But with the lead right now that Spring Mills has in 7, you can just easily go back and forth and still win.
That's right. That's what Jim will always talk about, is being closer to the victory than you are to your other team's score. And that's going to go way out. Leads back down to 6. Washington getting another chance to have the serve on their side. Paige Purdue. That's going to be a tough one. Ratchford with a good adjustment. That hit from Beckton goes out. So it's now 22-17, 5-point lead. Paige Purdue will serve again. Ratchford will set this one up to the 10 line for Grove. And that one lands. I think there was some miscommunication there between Purdue and Caldwell and who was going to get that one.
That was some beautiful passing, though, from Spring Mills there.
That was.
A great first pass, fantastic set, and then the kill by Grove from the back as well.
Ratchford has been probably the most impressive JV setter we've seen in EPAC action between all the teams, I'd say.
And that's why you see her on the varsity side as well get a lot of reps.
Here we go. Cadence Burke puts it over for Washington. There's Grove with the down ball. Matzek with the free ball hit. Go to Salfio on the right. That's a high arcing ball that goes out. 23-18. Spring Mills is 2 points away from the match victory. Washington has to fight back. This is Jaslyn Grimm, the junior, will send it to Campbell. Set by Ratchford. Beckton puts over the free ball. This is tight up to the net. Ratchford with another dump. Sent right back by Matzek, and no one's home. 23-19.
Matzek saw Ratchford come out of position to try to go up and sneak that dump over. Just did the same thing right back to her.
Grimm sends it again. Grove with the receive. Ratchford will set up for Graham. That one sails. The lead's down to 3.
The kills this set for Spring Mills, it just seems like they're a little bit too far behind the net, and because of that, they're allowing more air to be underneath of the kills, and that's
trying to adjust. And it's going to be a rotational violation by Spring Mills to let it cut down to 2.
And they were up by 7.
It's a 5-point run for Washington. Trying to send this to a third set. Grimm will send it to Campbell. Ratchford back. It's a free ball. And Matzek sends it back for Caldwell. It's another free ball. They battle back. Grove, 10 line. Oh, tough there. Will they be able to get it? No, they can't. 24. It's match point for the Cardinals. 24-21. Spring Mills tries to make a substitution there. Becton for Williams. Williams is the one that comes on. The serve will go back the way of Addison Grove. She sends that one in the net. Back to a 2-point game. If Washington can get 2 in a row, it'll be a win by 2 scenario. Go to the sophomore Cadence Burke. They let it go, and it's the right call. That's match point in the JV game. Spring Mills defeats the Patriots of Washington in JV action. 25-22 in the second set, 25-6 in the first. We'll go ahead. We'll take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll get you set for the varsity game between the Patriots and the Cardinals. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 5 minutes.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
When you're looking for the perfect gift, look no further than L.A. Roberts Jewelers at 146 North Queen Street in downtown Martinsburg. Choose from a huge selection of unique items, from the finest diamonds that make your eyes sparkle to exquisite timepieces, figurines, and collectibles. Buying from L.A. Roberts Jewelers means that you've made the decision to do business with people who've excelled in the industry for more than 100 years. They'll be here tomorrow when you need them, and if you need your jewelry or your watch repaired, they'll do that too. L.A. Roberts in downtown Martinsburg. Old World Jewelers for a new age.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com.
Spring Mills and Washington. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin here on the call with you. Spencer Dupuis is our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner, our cameraman for this evening, and Nick Verzolini back in the studio. Colin, Washington was almost able to make that comeback in the second set of the JV game after a dominant performance by Spring Mills in the first, but the Cardinals pulled it out.
Yeah, I still liked what I saw. And there's definitely some points that Washington can build off of, even though they lost that second set. As you mentioned, they almost came back. It was 22-15 at one point, and when we mentioned that, it was because when you just keep going back and forth there, since your lead is more than the points you are away from victory, you like that situation. But right as we mentioned that, Washington cut it to, what, a 3-point or was it a 2-point lead?
I think it was 2 at some point. I think
it
was
was
23-21.
So you liked eventually for Spring Mills to come back if you're a Cardinal fan, but I still think after a very rough first set for Washington, there were some things that they did fix, and you can see the things that they need to continue to fix, but it was still a positive match for them, even though the outcome might not have been as positive as they wanted it to be.
Right, it was a lot better on the serve-receive from Washington in that second set because, like we said, during the first set, it had to be about 3/4 of the points that Spring Mills had in their first 16, 17, 18 all came on aces. And I think a lot of those serves were ones that were receivable. They were able to be put in play. It wasn't impossible. It was just Washington wasn't quite in the right position. They weren't getting the hits on the ball that they wanted, but they made a big change and it really adjusted and did a lot better in that second set when it came to the serve receive. And with that, we'll go ahead, wrap up our JV talk, and we'll get on to the varsity matchup here between Washington and Spring Mills. These two teams with young head coaches. Micaiah Nolan for the Washington Patriots in her first year as head coach. Did not start out the season as head coach. It was a late mid-season adjustment to where she was just coaching JV, heading up the helm there, and now she's in charge of the varsity roster as well. So it's going to be, I'm sure, it's been a tough adjustment period, but like we saw from Washington last Thursday when they hosted Martinsburg, they were able to get the win. So some things have to be going right for Coach Nolan and this young Patriots team, Colin.
Yeah, and you can see she's all by herself, coaching staff-wise. You don't see that in any sports, but she's really taken the reins of this Washington program, and you can tell she belongs at the helm. As you mentioned, when we went and saw them at Washington, they were able to beat Martinsburg, and in any sport, whenever you beat Martinsburg, that's a big deal.
That is.
So that's something to build off of. You also need to build off a close loss, even though it was 3-1. I mentioned those scores in the earlier pregame that we had for JV. Other than the third set, they were all decided by 4 points or fewer. And you actually had that one win in set number 2 by 2. So the opportunity is there for the taking for Washington, but at the same time, they haven't done it before inside the Cardinal Coliseum. So it would be the first time for them to beat Spring Mills on Spring Mills home court. And obviously the Cardinals don't want that to happen, and I think they're bringing their A game.
Right, obviously Spring Mills home court hasn't been a thing for a super long time, this being the newest school in the EPAC, but Washington only has 2 wins over Spring Mills in volleyball play, and both of those wins came at Washington. Like you said, Colin, this team, the Washington Patriots, has never won a game on the home court of Spring Mills, but they'll try to change that tonight with Coach Nolan. Obviously, it's her first year. She wasn't here for any of those years where they weren't able to win at Spring Mills, so to her, doesn't make any sort of difference to her, I'm sure. So with that, we'll take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll continue to break down this matchup between Spring Mills and Washington and get you our pregame interviews with both coaches. You're watching EPAC Volleyball here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 2 minutes.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Are you considering selling your home and don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Phone Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams at 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. Just under 10 minutes away from the varsity game between Washington and Spring Mills. We'll start out by getting you our interviews that we had pregame with both coaches, starting out with the home team, Coach Haley Wolf of the Spring Mills Cardinals. Here with Coach Haley Wolf of the Spring Mills Cardinals. Coach, your team sits at third place in the EPAC right now. only behind the state finalists from last year. So what do you like from your team so far this year to get to this point?
Their mental game. We were up at a tournament at RCB this past week, and we were down 16 points from Brooke County and came back and won. Like their ability to never give up is something that we have worked hard for, and it's really paying off.
You're coming off of a loss to Jefferson this past Tuesday. What sort of improvements do you want to see from your team coming into tonight's matchup?
Serves. We got to get our serves in, and it sounds silly, but communication. There was a lot of second guessing, and we just need to bring that confidence that we've been playing with back tonight and just keep swinging.
All right, lastly, you got Washington coming in tonight. What do you want to see from your team tonight in order to take down the Patriots tonight?
Defense. I need to see them on their toes, swinging hard, playing aggressive, and just overall consistency.
All right, Coach Wolf, thank you very much. And then we'll switch things over to the Patriots side of things with Coach Micaiah Noland. Here with Coach Micaiah Noland of the Washington Patriots. Coach, you've taken on this role as a varsity coach. What have you learned about yourself and your coaching from this entire process?
Perseverance, for sure, and having thicker skin, and definitely knowing that I'm capable of more than what I give myself credit for.
And obviously this is going to be a tough transition for your players, and sort of has been. What have you noticed from them so far, what they've done in this whole process to this sort of change?
They are so resilient. I love this group of girls, and they have supported me literally every step of the way, and so it's been awesome. Yeah.
All right, and finally, you guys are coming into Spring Mills tonight. What do you want to see from your team this evening to get the win?
I just want them to work on their coverage and be aggressive. I think they hold back sometimes, and so we've really pushed that in practice, and I'm excited to see what they do tonight.
All right, Coach Noland, thank you very much. That was Coach Micaiah Noland of the Washington Patriots. We're just winding down the last few minutes of warm-ups here between the Cardinals and the Patriots. Colin, let's look at the home team, the Spring Mills Cardinals. Second-year head coach Haley Wolf. They are so far 8-7 on the season and 3-3 in the region. Good enough for third place in the EPAC behind the two reigning state finalists, Musselman and Hedgesville. So right now they're looking pretty good when it comes to trying to head up that second tier of the EPAC.
Yeah, the building blocks are there for Spring Mills. You liked what you saw last season from them. The progression was clearly there, and it's clearly there again this year. As you mentioned, now third in the EPAC, a spot ahead of Martinsburg, a team that county-wise you always want to do better than and battle with. And it's always tough to be better than Musselman and Hedgesville in volleyball, being the two top teams in the state. So it's never fun to have the two top teams in the state, no matter who they are at any sport, any level, in that same conference as you. So typically the odds are already stacked in against you, but they've been able to really do well, still compete, and win the matches that they need to win. And it's another case scenario in that instance tonight against Washington.
Right. This is a Spring Mills team that has had a little bit of up and down recently. They, this past weekend, went 4-0 in the tournament play that they had against teams such as Clay County, Brook, and East Hardy. But then this past Tuesday, they lost to the Jefferson Cougars on Jefferson's home court. And that was something that Coach Wolf talked about. It was a tough environment there, as Jefferson had quite a student section out for that game. And like we said in pregame for the JV team, it can be a student section or just home atmosphere in general that can make a big difference for these teams.
Yep, it's little things like that that really go a long way. It could be what you ate beforehand. It could be how you sat on the bus, if the bus seat was uncomfortable, or it could be what the two things you already mentioned. You're on the road, and there's a atmosphere that you're not used to. Anything to make the opponent uncomfortable is an advantage in your favor.
Right, that's what it's easy to forget when you get into the heat of things with high school sports that these are high schoolers. And things in the heat of battle can get to you, like an atmosphere from an away crowd. So we'll see if Spring Mills brings out a big student section or just a big crowd in general for this game this evening, and to see if it affects Washington at all. To see Washington, that win that they got last week was on their own home court against Martinsburg. So we'll see what Coach Nolan has for her team on adversarial ground like the Cardinal Coliseum. Let's say the last time that these two teams played, it was on September 8th, and that was a 3-1 victory for Spring Mills, and that was at Washington High School. But as we said, Spring Mills is coming off a loss that, frankly, they probably didn't think that they were going to have. It was a straight sets loss to Jefferson. It was Jefferson's first regional win of the season. So this is going to be perhaps a get-right game for Spring Mills.
Spring Mills, looking at the schedule, 2-1 in home matches so far this season. That one loss being at the very start of the season against Musselman, in which they did take a set. It was 3-1. So you look at the other ones, it was the win against Martinsburg and then a sweep against Jefferson.
Right, so this is a team that has gone back and forth on what they've done against teams they've played multiple times. We'll see if that ends up coming to fruition tonight after a 4-set victory against Washington the first time around. But before that loss to Jefferson on Tuesday, their only losses in the region were to, again, the state finalists, Musselman and Hedgesville.
And before that loss against Jefferson, they were on a 4-game win streak, all via sweeps. Granted, it was a tournament, but when you win 2-0 in all 4 of those, you're holding your head held high, and maybe because of that, they had their heads in the clouds maybe against Jefferson, almost overlooked it. I don't want to put that out there and be wrong or accuse Spring Mills of doing that, but I think the communication will be back tonight because you're back at home in a more comfortable environment.
With that, we'll take our last 2-minute break before pregame timer runs down, and we'll get you the rosters when we come back. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 2 minutes.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
When it comes to breast cancer, early detection is the key. During October, WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center will offer 3D mammogram screening clinics to women 40 and older on Saturdays at our women's imaging centers in Ranson and Spring Mills for just $60. This discounted fee helps patients who haven't met their deductible, whose insurance doesn't include one with an annual exam, or for those with no insurance. Schedule your discounted 3D mammogram today. Call WVU Medicine at 1-844-802-2734, option 2.
Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. We get set for the team introductions on both sides of things. We'll start off by reading you off the varsity team for the visiting Washington Patriots, as they are announced by our PA announcer on site here. Number 1 for the Patriots is Madison Hardy. Number 3 is Sarah Sinkowski. Number 7 is Elizabeth Vilhayes. Number 8 is Emily Tentindo. Number 9, Cynthia Keeter. Number 10, Megan Mitchell. Number 11, Mika McAvoy. Number 13, Gabby Sine. Number 15, Keely Dalton. Number 19, Autumn Penwell. Number 22, Samantha Williams. And number 24, Mackenzie Madrid. And then we'll go on the varsity side for the Spring Mills Cardinals. So number 1 is Addison Grove. Number 3 is Maddie McDaniel. Number 4, Jaden Junkin. Number 5, Emma Jones. Number 6, Bella Abshire. Number 7, Ariana Parsley. Number 8, Ava Campbell. Number 9, Isabel Boyard. Number 10, Brooke Everhart. Number 11, Gracie Kane. Number 12, Peyton Dugan. Number 13, Sasha Connor. Number 14, Samantha Stevens. And number 15 is Riley Ratchford. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin joining you on the call here from the Cardinal Coliseum. Spencer Dupuis is our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner, our cameraman, and Nick Verzolini is back in the studio as things start to heat up here at Spring Mills. Crowd getting excited through these player introductions, Colin.
I was about to say, we're trying to see if we're going to get any background music for these intros, or what's going on with this new sound system that has the soundboard as well to play some different stuff.
Wind down through the end of our pregame here between Washington and Spring Mills. We saw a 2-0 victory for Spring Mills in the JV game. It was a really dominant first set by the Cardinals, 25-6. But Washington was able to adjust and make it 25-22 in the second set. We get set for the national anthem. We'll take one last 2-minute break. On the other side, we'll be back for varsity action between the Patriots and the Cardinals. We're watching EPAC Volleyball here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 2 minutes.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin here with you for EPAC Volleyball between Spring Mills and Washington. So we're already seeing some Some chanting and cheering from the student section of Spring Mills, like we talked about in the pregame. We'll see if it ends up being a factor in how both teams perform in this game, Colin.
I thought the official was about to take one of the Washington players' heads off. She threw the ball over as it's Washington serving first, and it just scraped over the head of Penwell. By the way, I'll mention again for those that might be new tuning in, it is Washington in red on the left side, Spring Mills in the red on the right side.
Yes, you see Washington with the blue numbers and Spring Mills with the white numbers, as they've both chosen red uniforms for this evening. And in the blue-colored libero uniform for Washington, it'll be Elizabeth Vilheyes, the senior, to start things out. And her serve is a line drive off the hands of Sasha Connor. So the freshman for Spring Mill is getting some action early as the first serve goes her way.
And she's one of the freshmen that we don't see in JV.
Yes. And that's 2 in a row to start things out. The opposite of how the JV game started when it was Spring Mills that was throwing around the aces left and right.
And that serve looked harder than the first one.
I would think it was.
Definitely has some speed.
Vilheyes with a strong start, and again going at the freshman. And ended up setting this one up for Bolliard. Look over to Penwell. Strong hit, but it was dug out by Emma Jones. And a down ball there by Gracie Kane. We'll set this one up for Sasha Connor. She gets the kill. Some redemption.
Yep, got it off the block. It had a backspin that just caused the ball to die down right in the middle of the court on Washington's side.
So first, the serve for the Cardinals is Ariana Parsley. Hers is a line drive close to the net. There's a dump over by Washington. Jaden Junkin sets up for Bolliard, and that one takes a bit of a right-handed spin, and it goes out. Makes it 3-1 Washington.
That was close.
So we'll see Madison Hardy now on to serve for the Patriots, and that one goes out. Good job by Bolliard to get out of the way of that one. And we'll see Emma Jones come out and Samantha Stevens come in for the Cardinals, who was very impressive last time we were here at the Cardinal Coliseum against Pittsburgh. And there's the freshman Connor serving. Dug out by McAvoy. Parsley will set it up for Stevens. Left hand, it's out.
Good call.
So a strong first hit from Stevens, but it goes too strong. Makes it 4-2 Patriots.
Some great power, though, still from Stevens.
Emily Tantindo now serving for Washington. Stevens receives it. Parsley will go back to Stevens, and this one goes in the net. So a slow start for Stevens. 2 errors on her first 2 hits.
That one was tough, though, because you made the first pass, and then you have to make the final hit. And in between that, still adjust to get ready for that final hit.
A good receive on the serve by Jaden Junkin. We'll go over to McAvoy with the down ball. Parsley will have to set this one up for Stevens. Uses her fist to get it over. McAvoy at the net again, and that's 4. McAvoy tried to use some finesse there and didn't get the angle on it she wanted. Makes it 5-3. Jaden Junkin checking out for Spring Mills. It's Gracie Kane with the serve. With a McAvoy tight up to the net. Connor's going to have to set this one up. It's a down ball for Kane. Hardy will set it up. And that one goes pretty far, not as far as Spring Mills thought it would, though. Gabby Sign with the kill.
Sign just tucked that one into the far corner. Caught the defense of Spring Mill sleeping a little bit. Pinched too far up after having to try to regroup.
So now it's Sarah Sinkowski serving. That one does go out. That time the decision to let it go was the right one for Spring Mills. So it's 6-4 now.
And you like that awareness from the freshman and Connor.
So go to Bolliard. It's another service error for the Cardinals. Washington's lead back up to 3. So the senior Gabby Sign, for getting the last kill for Washington, will serve this one. And there's back-to-back service errors by both teams, trading points.
That's what you never like to see.
So the lead's back down to 2. Samantha Stevens will serve. And that's a big hit. But again, a little too much power on it. It goes out. It's 8-5.
Both teams just need to settle down.
See Penwell check in. And there's almost an ace. And they're going to say it was a lift there. So it ends up being an ace for Washington. Mika McAvoy puts Washington up by 4 points. McAvoy, that's a great serve, just barely getting over the net. Can't be handled by the Cardinals. And there's an early timeout from Coach Wolf when it's 10-5 Washington. We'll take the timeout with them for 30 seconds. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Ends up still getting over. Samantha Williams. Parsley with a behind the back free ball there. Parsley will hit it up for Connor. Big block, but that one might have gone out. Junkin received it.
Great deep free ball.
Oh, things are breaking down on both sides, but the volley continues. Parsley will go back to Connor.
Off the block.
And that one just barely tips over the net.
Great job.
Off the tip. Looked like it might have gone out, but Parsley reached for it and touched it. It's a 6-point lead for Washington.
Terrific volley on both sides there. Able to keep things alive.
6-point lead, largest of the set for Washington. Received by Sasha Connor. They'll go back to her off the block. It's going to be a tough recovery, but they'll at least send the free ball. Parsley will go to the back for Bolliard, and it doesn't stay in. Very close there, right in front of Coach Noland on the Washington side. 12-5.
Looks like we might be getting some adjustments soon on the Spring Mill side as both coaches talk amongst one another. And
overpass off the serve. It's dumped over by Madison Hardy. A strong start for Washington, 13-5.
We mentioned, or Coach Wolf, mentioned during the pregame interview that they need to be better at communicating amongst one another, and so far we've seen here and there that not be the case.
We'll go to Penwell there. This will be a tough adjustment for Spring Mills. They're able to send it back across. Samantha Williams goes back to Junkins. The dump from Parsley. Penwell, big hit off the block. Sent back over. Hardy sets it up. There's Keely Dalton. Connor is dug out by Penwell. Things staying alive on both sides. Parsley will go back to Connor. Soft touch, but it hangs up in the air too long. They'll go back line for McAvoy. Back and forth we go. Another free ball. Neither team able to take advantage as we see another one. Parsley will set this one up. Back line for Bolyard. Dalton gets that one. Penwell will stay alive on both sides. Connor off the block. It's another free ball. A long volley back and forth. They'll go to Connor again off the block, but they'll say it's a net violation on the Washington side. So neither team was able to get things going for themselves and get that point. It ends up being a self-enforced error on the Washington side.
And it's frustrating, I know Jim would say this as well, that after a great volley like that, it's decided on a call that's not always consistently made.
That's right. There's a down ball there by McAvoy. They'll set up Gracie Kane. Soft touch there. Parsley will go back to Kane, who hits it harder. The roof at the front by Williams. But Spring Mills is able to keep it going. Go to Williams again. This time she gets the kill. 14-6. Washington opening it up early on here. And the rotation will go back around to Vilheyes, who started it off with 2 aces. And that looks like a third as it drops in. The lead's up to 9 now for Washington.
Bad first touch from Junkin. Unable to get an accurate pass.
Elizabeth Vilheyes goes at it again. This time, this one goes in the net.
I almost thought she was going to tear the net with how fast that serve was and what we've seen tonight.
I was going to talk more about how well she's been serving, but maybe even just the thought of it wasn't enough for the announcer's jinx. Parsley sends this one for Spring Mills. They'll go to Penwell, and that's in. A kill for Autumn Penwell.
Another timeout for Spring Mills.
There's that timeout. We'll take this one with them as well. 16-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The Cardinal Coliseum at Spring Mills High School. First set between Spring Mills and Washington as the varsity game gets going. It's been a strong start for the Washington Patriots, up 16-7 in this opening set.
Yeah, they've really just absolutely dominated in every aspect of the game in this first set.
That serve from Madison Hardy gets over. And that one goes out untouched. A double-digit lead now.
And every opportunity for Spring Mills has just been an opportunity missed. They've had plenty of chances.
The roof by Sinkowski. But it stays up in the air. They'll go back to her. This time, it's a point. The kill for Sarah Sinkowski.
Just like I said in the JV set number 1, everything was going the way of Spring Mills. Well, this time everything's going in the way for Washington.
So far, so good for the Patriots. 18-7. Set this one up for Penwell. There was a long approach there, and just no one there. The lead goes up to 12 points.
You see Connor saying, we need to talk. Got to get that communication back for Spring Mills.
And it's a swing and a miss.
Oh,
but they'll say it was
they
touch.
Said they called a tip.
So Emma Jones took a swing at it. I couldn't tell that she hit it from here. But the down judge says that she did. That makes it 20-7.
How to remember their volunteers.
Varsity sets this one up. It goes too far. Lead goes up to 14. 4 points away from the set is the Patriots.
Spring Mills already have used both of their timeouts.
This will be tough. Parsley will go over to the right side for Connor. And that's a kill. Sarah Connor been playing mostly on the left side so far. Goes over to the right and gets herself another kill.
Remember, I believe it was against Brooke. Coach Wolf said they came back down 16 last weekend's tournament.
Well, it was only a 14-point lead here. And there's 2 in a row. Down to 12, 21-9. So, yeah, just in the past week, Spring Mills has come back from a bigger deficit than 14. We'll go to Connor, and that's in the net. 22 now for the Patriots, 3 points away from the opening set.
Looks like Tentindo's coming in to serve for Washington.
She checks in. Another one of the juniors on this varsity squad. She'll send this one over. That's an ace. Great serve from Emily Tentindo.
That's why you put her in, right?
The bottom dropped out of that one like a sinker. 23-9. This one will go to Stevens for the receive this time. Bolliard will put it over. Hardy will go. Down ball for Vilhayes, but she can't get the angle on it. Leads down to 13.
That was a tough one for Vilhayes. She never was able to get herself underneath, try to jump up to put some air underneath it. Instead, she was grounded and just tried to hit it from there.
There's an ace for Gracie Kane. Makes it 11 for the Cardinals. Again, and they'll take a miraculous comeback to take this first set. But we'll see if they can get it done. Kane will send that one into the net. You won't get it done like that. So it's set point for the Patriots. Very impressive performance from the varsity team.
And it's Sinkowski.
Sinkowski's serve goes to Connor. It'll be a tough adjustment. And it's just too far away for the down ball by Junkins to go. And the first set goes to the road team, the Washington Patriots, 25-11. We'll take a quick break here for 1 minute. We'll be back with the second set between the Patriots and the Cardinals. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School. as the first set of the varsity game has concluded here between Spring Mills and the Washington Patriots. And that was a pretty dominant performance by Washington. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin here with you on the call. And Colin, perhaps Micaiah Nolan was the spark that the Washington Patriots needed, because they hadn't gotten a regional win before she took over. And now they're looking at their second win in 7 days under Nolan.
And it's possible. It's been a very impressive start for Washington, absolutely dominating the first set. And you can see all the vibes on that side are positive. And right now, little frustration kicked in Spring Mills. And the last time I said that, they were able to come back and beat Martinsburg.
They were. They dropped that first set to Martinsburg, and then they came out and made a big-time adjustment. But if memory serves me right, I wasn't sure if the Bulldogs got that decisive of a victory in the first set. So we'll see what sort of adjustment they can make. So we come into the final minute before this set starts. We'll see out on the court is Parsley, Kane, Bolliard, Connor, Jones, and number 6, Bella Abshire for Spring Mills. Don't believe we saw Abshire in set number 1. So it's already some adjustments on the Spring Mills side. Over on the Washington side, it's McAvoy, Sinkowski, Dalton, Penwell, Williams, and Hardy. As now Kane steps off for Junkin on Spring Mills side, and Sinkowski steps off for Vilhayas as the Liberos get back on the court. We'll get ready for our second set.
It looks like Washington gets the serve again. At least the ball's on that side of the court.
And seeing our lines judge over there on that side is the one holding the ball. Again, some confusion on how the rotations are starting off. We saw this in the JV game where Washington had to make a couple adjustments before the start of sets.
Nope. Ball gets rolled over to Spring Mills.
Yes, they do roll it over to the Spring Mills side. To Ariana Parsley. Parsley's serve will stay in. Dalton will go over to Penwell, and her off the block, it hits the ground. Washington starts off with the lead once more.
Not only did it hit the ground, it hit out. So it was a great play because you were able to project the ball at that angle to go out.
So we'll go back over to Elizabeth Vilhayas, who had 3 aces in the first set. That one goes to Junkin. Connor with the hit. McAvoy is able to respond with the pass. Junkin will set up Bolliard. And that one's tight up to the net, overpassed. And it ends in a point and a kill for Spring Mills. 1-1. See Emma Jones come off and Samantha Stevens come on. See Stevens, big-time outside hitter for Spring Mills, starting off sets on the bench, but this time she comes in right after the first point. Sasha Connor serving for the Cardinals. They'll go back line, and that pass on the set was far from the net. It was a tough one for Sinkowski. The Cardinals go up 2-1. Go to Penwell. Parsley will go to Bolliard. Big hit, too far. No one touched it. So scoreboard now reads 2-2.
Yep, they had it flipped at first to accidentally put the last point for the Patriots. So at first it said Patriots up 2-1 when it should have said Cardinals 2-1. So they got it fixed.
There we go. Samantha Stevens. And there's a miss hit by Parsley. Goes back towards the back of the gym.
Bolliard was there too. I wonder why
Could have been
Bolliard
some-
didn't call off Parsley, who was running from towards the net back.
Could have been miscommunication there, and this one's an ace for Madison Hardy, the sophomore. So that's 3 in a row for Washington. Puts them up 4-2 after winning the first set. They'll go to Stevens, far from the net, has to get that one. Penwell on the other side. It's a kill for Autumn Penwell. Another strong start for Washington in this matchup. 3-point lead. Hardy serves again. It might have been out, but Junkins took that one. Behind the back, free ball from Stevens. They'll go to Penwell once more. Don't think that one ever went over. We'll say
call.
It's 4 hits.
Good call.
So the Patriots lead back down to 2. Be Jaden Junkins serving on the Cardinal side. Big hit there. Received by McAvoy. They'll go to Sinkowski, and that's going to be, look like a double hit there. Or at least off the block. She got her first hit, but that didn't go far enough for it to
since
go
it was
anywhere.
the block the first time around, she was able to hit it the second time, but nobody came to back her up because it went off the net.
It was just too close to her. It didn't quite go
King
where
tried,
anyone else
though.
could get it.
Like the effort.
That'll make it 6-3 Washington. It's Tentindo serving now. Then a Bolliard. They'll have to go back line. It takes a big free ball from Stevens. And a bit of an adjustment there for Madrid to be able to get that one. And he'll take another one. And just some off-kilter passes there from Spring Mills. Extends the lead to 4 for Washington.
I almost feel like there's just been too much motion from this Spring Mill side, and it's really caused a lot of people to get out of position because of it.
Getting themselves out of system and not able to adjust back. Over to Mika McAvoy. Good pass by Junkin to set up the big swing there. And that one's going to fall on the Washington side. 7-4.
And that was a good point. The communication was there. The positioning was there. You just got to make that continue if you want to get back in this.
So Isabel Bolliard gets an ace.
What a catch.
Good catch from a fan in the second row there. Off of that receive there by Tentindo. Couldn't handle a great serve by Bolliard. There's another one overpassed. Good adjustment by Washington. Parsley will set up for Stevens. Huge spike into the ground for the kill. The lead's down to 1. That's 3 in a row for the Cardinals.
I almost thought that one was going to put a dent in the court. Perfect placement, the drive and the power.
So Bolliard keeps it going on the Spring Mills side. That one goes out. Vilhayes read that one right. So the serve goes back over to the Patriots. And back to Sarah Sinkowski. This one, good low serve there. It's an ace for Sinkowski. Jaden Junkin diving for the ball. Just too good a position there. 9-6. One ace for Sinkowski. Now she'll get this one. We'll go to Stevens. Sends it too far. The lead goes back up to 4. So that's 3 points in a row for Washington after 3 in a row for Spring Mills to get it back to a 4-point lead. Sinkowski one more time, low again. Tough to handle. That one
never went over.
Nope. Biggest lead of this set for the Patriots, 11-6. Coming into enemy territory and treading the water so far. Swimming quite well. Sinkowski sent that one into the net.
You got to remember, if Washington gets the win, it'd be the first time they've ever won in the Cardinal Coliseum.
First time. We see Spring Mills, the newest school in the conference. Still quite an accomplishment to get your first win on their court. Sasha Connor, too much on it. Back up to a 5-point lead. The Keeley Dalton. Serve from Dalton goes in the net.
We mentioned at the start of this that we expected the crowd to play a factor possibly, but because of the lead that Washington has, it's really taken Spring Mills' crowd out of it.
It has, and there's a hit over by Madison Hardy. Teammates really excited and hyping her up after that one. The sophomore. Getting it back up to a 5-point lead. Here's the senior, McAvoy. Another good serve. Tough for the handle there. Bulliard's able to get it, though. Diving for the dig is McAvoy. Up. And that dump over by Bulliard goes too far.
I like the decision. It's just been the theme of the night, though, that Spring Mills just, things haven't gone their way. That wasn't the wrong decision, I feel like.
Nope.
Everybody was up close. You had the chance to go over top. It just didn't pay off because it was too far.
So now it's 14-8 Patriots. It's a timeout from Spring Mills. 6-point lead for the Patriots. I mean, this Washington team has been impressive so far, Colin.
Yeah, they have, and their crowd coming alive. And as I mentioned earlier, Spring Mills crowd just seems disinterested. Spring Mills needs help from their student section. Get some life back into them. Keep the encouragement there because they're not fully out of this yet. You're down 6. You've been able to come back from larger. You're at home. You need help.
And not an incredibly big student section tonight from Spring Mills.
But it's there. We heard it during the JV match.
Right, it looked like it cleared out a little bit from this JV game. Not quite as many as we had then. Oh, that serve looked like it was going to go out, but Bulliard takes it.
Got to communicate.
Ends up a free ball. Hardy goes to Williams. Sliding on the floor forward is Junkin. Hardy will set up again to Penwell. Hits off the net. And that little adjustment there that had to be made, it was too much. As the ball goes back across to the Washington side, 15-8.
It's nearly impossible to judge it off the net.
There's a dump by Parsley. Set up for Williams. They'll go over to Connor with the down ball, and she gets it to fall. Tough angle there.
I was about to say, body was twisted, able to keep it on the near side as well, even though it looked like the angle of the way her body was going was going to put the ball to the far side of the court. Great play by the freshman.
That's why you get the varsity time. Plays like that. That could have easily been an ace there. Tough angle for Williams to get it back into play. They'll go to Bulliard off block. Set it up to the 10 line. McAvoy. Looks like overpassed up in the net. Tough for Parsley to judge off the net.
But it was only fitting for McAvoy to get the point for Washington after almost diving headfirst into her own bench to keep that play alive after the bad first pass.
So that puts Washington up to a 7-point lead now. It'll go back to Vilheyes. Rainbow serve. We'll set this one up for Connor. Has to put over a down ball. Up close to the net. The set there was too far up. That's going to make it 16-10.
Again, they gave the point incorrectly.
That scoreboard gets adjusted. That one goes into the net. That makes it 17-10.
I was about to say they subtracted the point.
There we go. They get it right eventually. Madison Hardy. It's like we stopped play there for a second to make sure the score was right. 17-10 Washington. That ball just never gets over the net. The Washington lead, highest it's been in this set, 8 points.
There's some crowd noise.
You see the student section, there's a bit more coming in, perhaps taking a break for themselves out in the concourse between sets. And there's a big kill there from Samantha Stevens.
She likes that near side on the outside.
The tallest outside hitter, tallest player in general on this Cardinals team.
Might be the tallest in the EPAC, I don't know.
I can't think of a taller player off the top of my head. Obviously, we don't always see them lined up head to head with each other, but on the court, she looks like the tallest. Parcial sets us up for Stevens. Great dig by Vilhayes, but it still bounces too far over towards the scoreboard table.
Yep, Hardy tried to keep it alive, just didn't get enough power because she also wanted to protect herself as she was coming into that brand new scores table that doesn't have much cushion, but it does have some.
We'll set this one up for Sinkowski. Don't say the point goes to Washington. I don't think that one was in a column.
It was close. Got to remember that these are volunteer line judges.
Either way, makes it 19-12 Washington. And maybe there's some of that sports karma.
Ball don't lie. How about that?
Yeah, ball don't lie. Sports karma, as our color analyst who's out sick today, Jim Klein will say. Makes it 19-13. Wish him a quick recovery. Hope he gets well soon. It's a free ball from Samantha Stevens. And it'll go to Sarah Sinkowski with a kill from the middle. 20-13. So up by 7 with 5 points to go. It'll take a good run by Spring Mills to even this up at 1 set apiece. That one just nicks the tape there. And that free ball from the back by Junkin, not able to get the angle on it to send it back over.
Too many forced errors tonight for Spring Mills.
So it's an 8-point lead with 4 to go for the set.
Miscommunication.
More miscommunication. 22-13. Washington handily taking this game so far in the first 2 sets. Sinkowski off the net, almost got the friendly roll. But just barely decides to fling back her direction. Gives the Cardinals 14 points now. Emma Jones. It's a big serve, and that is...
Oh, no.
In.
She was calling it out. I think she got overruled.
Disagreement there. The down judge, the line judge over there on that side. It is on his side, near side, so he made
Head
the
official
overrule.
overturned it. Yep. Good call.
22-15, and...
Or not, because the ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. 23-15. So now it'll be Mackenzie Madrid making, I believe, her first serve of the match, as we get a little bit of a cheer from the Washington JV team. And there's a good kill in the middle. Gracie Kane.
She found the hole.
Junkin checking out. Bella Abshire checking in.
Now Kane will serve.
You know, the reward for her kill there. They'll set this one up for McAvoy. Bolliard will send that one too far, and that'll be set point for Washington.
Interesting. We might see a libero change in set 3 for Spring Mills, as Addison Grove, who was in a red uniform, has just came back out in a gray uniform.
Just signaling a bit of a rotation change in the third set for Spring Mills. Sasha Connor off the block. Tap there from Penwell. They can't quite pancake it.
Yep, they went for the pancake, but the breakfast menu's been closed.
25-16. Second set goes to the Washington Patriots, just like the first one did. We'll take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we set number 3 between Spring Mills and Washington. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Spring Mills High School as we get ready for it. Set number 3 after Washington takes both of the first 2 sets on the road here. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin with you on the call. And Colin, I think it's still, we're early in the Micaiah Nolan era, but I don't think we expected this from Washington tonight, despite winning last week when we saw them.
There's been a clear culture change in Washington Patriot volleyball so far from what we've seen with Coach Nolan in charge. And hats off to her for doing it all by herself, it seems like. I mean, there could be some help that we just have been missing maybe during practice and stuff, but when we see her come game time, she is the only coach out there for both JV and varsity. And this team tonight is absolutely dominating.
I mean, there is no official assistant coach for Nolan, and when we talked to her before last week's game, she mentioned that one of the things that she did wish she had was another person helping her out, but she's powering through it regardless. But so far, so good. So we've seen them get a victory over the Bulldogs last Thursday night, and they are 1 set away from a victory against the Cardinals.
And the storyline is they're 1 set away from winning for the first time inside the Cardinal Coliseum.
That's right, and it would just be icing on the cake to be able to do it in a sweep. But of course, Spring Mills is not going to go down without a fight and let that happen. We are
It'd be the second time this week Spring Mills gets swept by a Jefferson County school.
You're right there, Colin. And I think it's both teams that are behind them in the EPAC stand. Beats 2 of the 3 teams behind them in the EPAC standings, along with Martinsburg. And we see more lineup changes to start things out for Spring Mills. Brooke Everhart, another freshman, checking in on the Spring Mills side. Jaden Junkin comes on. So we do have 2 players in libero jerseys on the Spring Mills side. Junkin in right now. And there's an ace. Miscommunication to start things out for Spring Mills.
That's not a good start. It's been the theme, unfortunately, for Spring Mills all night, though, is miscommunication.
And that was Everhard in her first action there with Junkin as they split the C's there. And Everhart, with her first touch, goes backwards. Parsley will have to send a free ball.
Good deep free ball.
We'll go Sinkowski. It's in the very back corner. She stuffs it in just barely.
It was the right call, but we have a new volunteer over there, and I don't like how far back she is to that line. She is about 2 feet away from that corner, and you got to be right up on it.
I'd call it even about 3 feet there as we get another ace from Vilheyes. She started off set number 1 with 2 aces, and now she starts out set number 3 with 2 aces on her first 3 attempts.
And what's crazy about where these aces have been, there's 3 people on that side for Spring Mills, and she's just found it in the Bermuda Triangle.
Vilheyes once more. And this is going to be a tough one. Sasha Connor was able to get it inside the antenna, and there's a roof from Gracie Kane. Sent right back. The rejection.
Can you get a spark? Find some life.
Looked like Sagaba Kanate on the two-handed block there.
Haven't heard that name in forever.
Going up is Penwell. Over to Emma Jones. Sails that one. Puts the Patriots back up by 3.
Madison Hardy now serving.
We'll now see Gabby Sign, the senior, check in. Who I don't believe we've seen a lot of in this match through these first 2 sets.
There's the good communication.
That's a big one there. No contact on the Washington side. Sasha Connor puts too much on that one. 5-1. Doesn't get the angle.
That's happened way too many times. Too much power.
This one's close, tough. That's a double hit. It's an ace for Hardy. Washington quickly up by 5. 6-1.
Can you tell Spring Mills is frustrated?
Washington's keeping their foot on the gas pedal, up 2-0. Parseal set up for Kane. Good dig by Vilheyes. And the sign with the two-handed set there. Dug out by McAvoy. They'll go to Sinkowski.
Yep, good call.
And they were in the net.
Yep, Gracie Kane, when she went for the roof, just brought her hands down too much and touched the top of the net.
7-1 now. Madison Hardy sends this one over to Sasha Connor. They'll go to Jones. This is going to be a tough one. And a punch by Penwell. We'll go to Connor, down ball. 10 line is McAvoy. Sasha Connor again. This is another one close up to the net. It's another down ball. Parsley over her head. We'll go to Penwell, another down ball. Parsley goes to the left side this time for Connor. This one stays in. A kill for the freshman.
Now Stevens will check in.
It's Sasha Connor after the kill. On to serve. We'll send this one at the libero Vilheyes. And there's maybe some communication there. Ends up a free ball. They'll go to Penwell. Another roof for Gracie Kane. 2 of the 3 points for Spring Mills in this set have come in that fashion.
That was close for Sinkowski. If she actually kept her foot planted and kicked that one over, it would have been a point for Washington, I believe, unless they've changed that rule.
7-3 now, as that point is going to go the way of Washington to make it 8-3. So Autumn Penwell, as the Patriots were back up by 5, and now it goes down to 4 again with the service error. Penwell will check out for Tintindo. It'll be Gracie Kane. for the Cardinals. That one's tight up to the net. They're able to at least send a free ball. Stevens took a little off that one. Change up.
Took a little off, but it was still placed perfectly over the head of both blockers.
8-5 now. Gracie Kane. Tentindo sends this one high up in the air. Two Patriots go back for it.
Miscommunication.
Vilhea seemed to have that one handled, but the setter Hardy tried to take over. They'll go to Kane again. Vilheus. Hardy with a good set for McAvoy. It's a double. It's off the block and then touched by Jones, and it goes out. So good recovery there, not allowing Spring Mills to get a run in. 9-6. It'll be Sinkowski now. Oh,
found a little floater.
Stevens couldn't send that one and keep it in play.
Yep, hit the official.
10-6. Official getting involved now, having to duck out of the way. Sinkowski will send another one, and it's another ace. 2 in a row. Gets the lead back up to 5. 11-6. Back to Sinkowski once more on the serve. Connor overpassed it. The roof doesn't find the floor. And that's another overpass. And another, but this one finally goes out. At 7 for the Cardinals. We'll see Maddie McDaniel for the first time. And she'll be serving to start things out. So again, Cardinals going deeper into the bench. Try to save this game or perhaps get some players some playing time. Gabby Sign, no contact as she tries to go across court on the kill. That goes out. It leads back down to 3.
There it is. I was like waiting for the point to be put on the scoreboard.
11-8, Maddie McDaniel. Another big serve there. Some good serves as soon as she comes into the game.
Now can you capitalize on the free ball?
Parsley for Stevens, and they do. That's 3 in a row for the Cardinals. Makes it 11-9.
And we saw in the previous 2 sets, Stevens was putting a lot more power on those kills, and that was what was causing it to go past the back line. Now she's taking a lot off of it.
McAvoy sends over a free ball. It'll go to Parsley. Tough. Off the block, it ends up being double contact.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a double contact or just a lift by the way she tried to hit it off her own block.
Prolonged contact there.
Yeah.
So that's 4 in a row for Spring Mills. Off the serves of Maddie McDaniel, and that make it 5. An ace. Tied up, and there's a timeout.
Spring Mills has found some life.
5 straight points from Spring Mills, ties it back up. 11-11. So Spring Mills, and they're going to try to force a 4th set here. This young Washington team tries to close out a sweep.
Yep, it's do or die time. Spring Mills has the momentum on its side now, it seems like. They found the players that need to step up if they want to be able to come back 2 sets down and get a win. But at the same time, you're tied up. So that momentum can easily slip back to the side of Washington, and they could come away with a victory.
Spring Mills, a little more pep in their step out of that timeout. We'll see if Washington can respond and slow it down. Spring Mills trying to dig themselves out of a hole. They're losing the first 2 sets, going down by 5 points in this one. McDaniel, another great serve. Go to McAvoy. Oh, boy, this one's going to be tight up to the net. It's a dump by Abshire. The Cardinals take the lead.
Great heads-up play by Abshire. Saw the space and took it.
The great serves by Maddie McDaniel. This is the first action she's seen in this game. Go Vaheas. That's tough. That's not going to get inside the antenna. It's another ace. 13-11, Spring Mills on a 7-point run. Go for it once more. Another line drive. Go to McAvoy. Junkin with the pass. Samantha Stevens, that's going to get up in the net. It ends up a dump overpass.
McDaniel saving Spring Mill.
Keeping it alive. Ends up down ball hit by McAvoy in the net. 14-11.
Washington only has one timeout left. When do you use it? You used it when it was 11-all.
It's tough. They might just have to get through this run, but it's another ace for McDaniel. The serves of Maddie McDaniel have led to 9 straight points for Spring Mills.
She's on fire. She's unstoppable. Her serves saving with 2 miraculous digs.
Looks like the adjustment that Spring Mills needed. This will be a tough one for McAvoy as she punches it over. They'll go 10 line for Junkin. Back to McAvoy with another hit.
McDaniel can't be stopped.
Another dig. Williams in the middle, finally ending the run.
She was stopped by miscommunication with her teammates.
Williams was able to find the middle of the floor out of the 6 Cardinals. Finally ending the run, but not before. 9 in a row to give them a 3-point lead right now. They go to Sasha Connor. Soft tap over. They'll go middle again for Williams. Blocked at the net by Abshire. Gabby Sign. They'll go back to the middle again. The blocked. The roof goes back on the other side. It's Samantha Williams.
Yep, she tried to do that already in that volley. Was unsuccessful. She had redemption and was able to get the point.
We saw a lot of that from Williams last week against Martinsburg. And there's an ace for Gabby Sign. Washington closing the lead back down to 1.
Junkin just didn't look ready for that one almost.
Looked like a last-second adjustment by her. Wanted to hit it underhand and then switched that two-handed
now Kane
pass there.
Checked in for Junkin to allow Grove to come into place.
So some more youth on the floor for Spring Mills.
And Grove had to put on a red uniform again.
It was the senior making the service error for Washington to make it a 2-point lead once again for the Cardinals.
Because during that second set, we saw her leave, come back in a gray uniform, and now she's back out in a red uniform.
And it's youth on the court for Spring Mills. 2 players now that we saw in the JV matchup on the court for the Cardinals. As Brooke Everhart and Addison Grove are in. Everhart's serve hits off the net and falls to the floor.
And they already have Connor out there as a freshman as well.
There's the second timeout from Washington at 17-14. So this is in a big run by the Cardinals. They were down by 5 points, 11-6, and now they're up by 3. So a big-time adjustment in the third set by the Cardinals, Colin.
Yeah, it's been impressive for how they've bounced back. They found Maddie McDaniel off the bench to get 9 straight points, and that has really helped in this situation, give some life to Spring Mills, who for a majority of the night were absolutely dominated by Washington, but now they have a chance to get this third set and make things interesting.
And again, they're doing it with a youth movement. Maddie McDaniel, Addison Grove, and Brooke Everhard on the floor right now, along with the usual varsity rotation player, Sasha Connor, the freshman. Some youth in this one.
Timeout worked.
Can't win them all. Timeout worked with the service error. Leads back down to 2, 17-15. We'll see if Washington can get through these choppy waters. Addison Grove with the receive. They'll go up. Some miscommunication there. The free ball barely gets over. Phil Hayes will set up for Penwell. Blocked.
Never got blocked.
No, never went over. From my angle, it looked like it could have been a block, but it was not.
It was a good call. It stayed underneath that white stripe on top of the net and just bounced right back.
The Cardinals are back up by 3. The libero, Jaden Junkin, will serve now. We'll go to Vilhayes. Hardy will set it up for Penwell. Off the block, it hits the floor. There's a kill for Penwell.
Down by 2. Vilhayes back to serve, and she's targeting Junkin on her serves. So I'll have to keep an eye as Junkin just checked back in. Let's see if serve goes at her.
And there we go, an ace for Vilhayes. 5th one of the match. 18-17. Spring Mills leads only by 1 now. Vilhayes again. They'll go to Junkin, close up to the net. It gets over in 3. Good adjustment by Connor. Sinkowski. Junkin goes to a knee for that one. Down ball from Connor. Another one close to the net. Hardy can't get the right angle on it. She wanted to dump that one over. Makes it 19-17 Cardinals. So back around to Ariana Parsley. And her serve, wow, rode the net. That one hung up there. Took a break up on the net. Got itself a drink and some popcorn before heading to the floor. And now this time,
she tried to do it again.
Can't quite get the adjustment. Not quite as friendly of a roll there. 20-18. So back around to Madison Hardy, serving for the Patriots. Lobs that one up. Parsley has to run over for this one. It's Connor with the kill.
It's in.
They let it go. McAvoy didn't think it would stay in.
Yep. She had positioning and slid to the side.
The Spring Mills is back up by 3. It'll go around to the freshman Connor for the serve. It's a good serve. Dropped down. McAvoy has to hit the down ball. Parsley goes to Kane. That's a kill. The lead is up to 4 with 3 points to go to get this to set number 4. Sasha Connor goes once more. Hardy sets up the middle for Sinkowski. They'll go over to Stevens. Good dig by McAvoy. Penwell goes at Junkins again. This is a tough one. It'll end up being a free ball. See if Washington can take advantage of it. They'll go to, well, I thought they'd go to Penwell again, but the serve wasn't on point. Ends up a free ball. And this will be a tough adjustment. It goes into the bench. 23-18.
McAvoy was going for it again towards the bench, but had to pull up. So it landed in the chair of Samantha Williams.
Momentum on the side of the Cardinals. They're only 2 points away from the set. They'll go to Penwell. Blocked. Ends up a free ball by Vilhayes. A tough one there for Junkin. Go to Stevens. High up in the air this one goes. They'll go to Sinkowski. Keeping it alive. Ends up another free ball. Hardy will set this one up for Sinkowski in the middle again. Overpass. And a kill for Autumn Penwell.
Great job by Penwell. Saw the overpass for Parsley and just sent it right back at Parsley because she was out of position.
Leads down to 4. It'll take a big run by Washington to turn this set around. Tentindo with the serve. Oh, Stevens hit it up to the left, but there was no one there. It's an ace. Only a 3-point lead for the Cardinals.
Be a great storybook ending to get the sweep in comeback fashion.
Tentindo again goes at Stevens. They'll set this one up for Stevens. Blocked. Ball's overpass. It's a roof for Stevens. That adjustment by McAvoy just wasn't enough. Just keep it on the Washington side. It's set point for Spring Mills. And it's Gracie Kane. Multiple aces in this set. But it's Sinkowski. Set it up for Emma Jones. Tough one. Pancaked and stays a lot. No, they'll stay.
That is horrible.
It didn't stay alive.
That is horrible.
The third set goes the way of Spring Mills, 25-20. We'll take a 1-minute break, and when we're back, we'll come back with the fourth as Spring Mills stays alive. You're watching EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
High School Cardinal Coliseum. Third set goes the way of Spring Mills. Dylan Bishop and Colin McLaughlin on the call with you here. Things have gone and changed fortune a little bit between Spring Mills. Rest of our crew here. Spencer Dupuis is our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner, our cameraman. Nick Verzolini is back in the studio. Colin, that third set, Spring Mills made a big adjustment, and they were able to get the win.
Yes, they did. They went to the youth, and the youth stepped up when needed. And it was the difference maker being Maddie McDaniel. 9 straight points, and Spring Mills was able to hang on to the lead and cruise to get a set to make things interesting now, being a 2-1 margin. Still in favor of Washington, so victory is still in their hands if they want to be able to grab it. But Spring Mills has definitely made it interesting. The momentum's on their side, and it should be a very interesting set number 4.
So we'll see, Washington can still close this out in this set. We'll see if they're able to. 30 seconds away from the start of the fourth set. 2-1 lead for Spring Mills, or for Washington, after the third set victory by Spring Mills. We'll see if any more adjustments come on the Spring Mills or Washington side to start things out in this set. It looks like the same lineup that started last set. Brooke Everhart seeing some more action on the varsity side. And it looks like the same setup on the Washington side with McAvoy, Vilhayes, Sankowski. See, Kylie Dalton is in at the moment on the court. Samantha Williams, Autumn Penwell, and Madison Hardy. We'll see what kind of adjustments Washington makes after that third set went so strongly to the side of Spring Mills. It was a good start for the Patriots. They got themselves out to an 11-6 lead. This is going to be a down ball deep. And they're going to say that one stayed in. I think they're right.
I don't know.
First point goes the way of Washington. Elizabeth Vilhayes starting things out. She's been great serving the ball all game long. Sasha Connor, this is going to be close up to the net. I don't know if Gracie Kane got a hand on that one. She did.
Yep.
Ends up the roof for Kane. They'll go back over to Sasha Connor on the Spring Mills side. And her serve goes into the net. 2-1 Washington. We talked about the home court advantage. It actually looks like after that set went the way of Spring Mills, the student section got even smaller for the Cardinals.
I was about to say might be
getting a little late out here, even past 8:30. So I guess some of the high schoolers have decided to go home. It is a school night.
They got a football game tomorrow to play.
That's true, they do. This is 3-1 Washington now as that one hits the floor. It'll go back over to Washington's side. It's 3-1. And they'll call this a rotational violation on Spring Mills.
They're confused.
Another point on Washington's side.
I'm confused. Who's in the wrong spot? Nobody's changed.
It doesn't look like anyone's changed, so I'm not sure if they might have to blow the whistle dead again.
We'll see. I mean, nothing changed there, so what was the difference?
Step or two might have been all that it took. Vilhayes goes over. It's a down ball from Penwell. Mishit as it goes into the net.
She was just too far back.
4-2. Couldn't quite get the angle to send it over. Gracie Kane now serving for Spring Mills. This is close up to the net. A punch, but it goes out.
I was close to being tipped, though.
It was.
Would I like to possibly see intentionally trying to get that off the block?
Gracie Kane goes at it again. Penwell receives it. They'll go. It was a quick, low set there. They'll set this one up for Penwell off the block. Oh, that's going to be tough. They'll take a down ball from Connor. She sails that one. 5-3. So go back over to Washington. Next serve coming from Penwell. So we'll go to Connor, close up to the net. It's adjusted. And it's a kill for Samantha Stevens. A good pass there.
I couldn't tell if that pass was intentional or if it just fell perfectly in place off the bump to set up Stevens. But nonetheless, it worked out.
Worked out either way. And here comes Maddie McDaniel.
Uh-oh.
Cardinals down 1.
Can she top 9?
We'll see. Keep an eye on the score. When her serves start, Vilhayes hits that almost off her face there, off the block, but then they can't get the run this time off the serves from McDaniel.
That was impressive on both sides. It was a great serve. Washington was just better. Vilhayes, and then the kill.
6-4 Washington. No No run off the serves of McDaniel this time. Junkin gets that one over. It'll take a free ball from McDaniel. Just barely gets over, causes an overpass. And there's the McDaniel difference.
And she was vocal. Everybody in this gym could hear her say, "I got it. It's mine."
Samantha Stevens checks out, and Brooke Everhart checks in. Spring Mills lineup gets a little shorter.
It's true.
Everhart into the net. Puts Washington back up by 2. 7-5 Patriots. It'll be Mackenzie Madrid, the junior, serving. Sends this one over to Connor. He'll set it back up for her. Long way from the net, and it forces her to put a little too much on it. Washington goes up by 3 again.
It's because that pass is behind her each time. When she goes to swing her arm.
Wasn't able to make the run she wanted to. The serve goes over to Connor again. Connor off the block. It ends up a kill.
But you see the difference? That one in front of her, she was able to bring it down.
She was able to make the run, jump up, and send that one with a lot of force. Washington lead back down to 2. Ends up a free ball. See if Spring Mills does with it. They'll go to Kane in the middle. It's a roof for Samantha Williams. A tall blocker in the middle there.
And you mentioned a few points ago that the height is not on the side of Spring Mills. It's all on the bench right now. So Williams continuing to have a field day with these blocks.
Kane, the only taller player on the court right now for Spring Mills. Then McAvoy, her serve goes in the net. A senior with a rare service error. McDaniel checks out. Emma Jones comes in at 9-7. It'll be Parsley serving now. Hardy goes over to Penwell. That's a tough one. Sasha Connor makes the adjustment. It's Williams in the middle now. Junkin again. Connor, light tap, ends up in the net, does Samantha Williams. That's the call.
I don't know if I agree
Washington's
with it.
not happy with it.
Got to check the replay.
The lead's back down to 1 for Washington, 9-8. Ariana Parsley once more. Penwell, long way away, overpassed and out. Double digits up on the board in this set for Washington. And Stevens coming back in only for a couple points. Everhart back in.
Yep, Kane again, tallest one on the court on Spring Mill side.
It'll go back to Vilhayes. He's had the most aces in this set for the Patriots, and there's another one.
That one was tough. It was well-deserved for Washington. The placement was perfectly on the net to get it to drop.
6 aces in this game. Make it 7.
7 for number 7.
Elizabeth Vilhayes, one of the 3 seniors on this Washington team, with another ace, puts the Patriots back up to a 4-point lead. And that's
She just
a tough
put so
one
much
for
speed on it.
Emma Jones. That's a tough one. Dug out by Dalton. Penwell sends the down ball. We'll go 10 line for Junkin. We'll go to Sinkowski in the middle. Junkin can't get that one. 13-8 Washington.
Junkin was the only one back there to try to defend the entire space behind the 10 line.
Vilhayes, one more time. That one's going to sail too far. Great game of serving for Vilhayes, but nobody's perfect.
She's got the lead for Washington, though, to 4.
So we'll see Stevens check back in for Everhart once more. Sasha Connor serving. That's another one. Trading service aces, service errors is the Patriots and the Cardinals. Back to a 5-point game, 14-9. And a 2-1 lead for Washington. It's overpass. Samantha Stevens able to handle it, though. And that one stays in. They let it go. Dangerous game to play.
You could hear Madrid from up here yelling in and in.
They might have heard her, but it
didn't matter.
Too late. 14-10 Washington. Kane serving once more. We'll set this one up for Madrid. We're going to go to Stevens off the block. Penwell off block as well. And it's another kill for Autumn Penwell, the junior. Big time outside hitter on the left side for the Patriots. She'll check out for Tentindo at 15-10.
Great offense for Washington to swap sides with it. Everybody for Spring Mills was still on the near side of the court because of Stevens' kill attempt. So they just quickly passed it over to the far side for Williams.
Tentindo are not able to take advantage. Service error sends it back over.
Here we go. McDaniel back in.
4-point deficit for the Cardinals as McDaniel comes back in. I believe Washington last time around. And that's going to be a rotational violation before the serve even is able to be played. Player's out of position.
Yeah, but it looks like McAvoy was a step ahead or behind, maybe. Couldn't really tell. Vajeas.
That's going to make it 15-12. McDaniel. Another serve. They'll go over to McAvoy. Strong hit, but too strong. I was going to say last time McDaniel was in, she came around through the rotation. Washington actually came out up a point from when she came in. But right now, that's 2 in a row as McDaniel comes in and serves. And she's going to end the run herself, putting her serve in the net. 16-13. So Washington survives the McDaniels serves for a second time. Sinkowski. Whoa. Heard McDaniel talking, but it was
yeah,
that's just a great serve.
Junkin is shaken up clearly as Connor landed on her elbow.
Sinkowski tries to go soft with it again, but puts a little too much finesse on it. Doesn't go over.
Hopefully she's okay. She's shaking it off. They're going to take her out just in case. Smart move, I think.
They are. Gracie Kane comes in. Actually, they'll have Grove come in. It's another freshman in the game for Spring Mills now. Junkin will go to the end of the bench. Actually, off to the side of the bench to be attended to. There's an overpass on the serve. See what Spring Mills can do with it. Ends up a down ball for McDaniel. McAvoy with another down ball. That stays in. Grove, there's the difference. Junkin comes out for Grove, and that one goes Grove's way. Washington is able to get the point up on the board. There's a timeout from Coach Wolf on the Cardinals side. 18-14, Washington leads.
Still checking on Junkin. Flexibility in her right elbow, making sure nothing got overextended when Connor fell on her. So we hope that she's okay as they're checking both arms now.
You hope it's maybe just a bruise. If anything.
You hope it's nothing too major. You could tell it was a painful fall. I mean, when you get somebody landing on you when you're both diving for a ball and their full force is coming down on an arm, it's going to hurt no matter who it is.
You're hoping it's just some pain that'll end up coming down. Perhaps even quick enough for her to get it back in the game, but if not, then enough for her to make it back for the next one.
Yep, and she's fought hard tonight, so it's unfortunate to see her go out this way.
We'll set things back up on the Washington side. It's Samantha Williams. Grove with a good pass. And Connor sends it too far.
Connor was calling for a tip. Didn't get it.
It's 19-14. 5-point lead with 6 to go. Washington approaching their third set victory.
And
it's a violation on the Spring Mills side.
It's the second one in the last 5 points.
So now we flipped it back around. It's a 6-point lead with 5 to go. And that's the advantage you want on the Washington side. Closer to 25 than you are to the opponent.
Yep.
Madrid will go over to Connor. Parsley sets up the middle for Abshire. There's a roof for Samantha Williams once again.
They're 4 points away from history, Dylan.
This would be the first time on Cardinal Court, the Cardinal Coliseum, that the Patriots get a win. 21-14. Madrid goes to Grove. That goes out. 22-14. 8-point lead. And they're 3 points away from the win. Madrid will serve once more. And this one off the side of the hand.
Yep.
Take the lead back down to 7. The Spring Mills gets back up to 15. They'll get Grove out and Kane in. They wanted the substitute. That's the substitution they wanted when Junkin came out. But they weren't able to get it until the next time they got a point. And it led to a run.
Now we got some confusion. Can't tell what's being said since the backs of Wolf as well as our line official are to us, so don't really know if it's about the substitution or about who's serving. But it's Abshire back to serve. I believe they're allowed to ask who's supposed to serve.
The lineup check. It'll be Abshire serving. It tips the net. Good serve there. Dalton puts over the down ball. And there we go. It's another point for Washington, 23-15. Tentindo will check out, and it'll be Autumn Penwell checking back in. The kill leader for the Patriots. Try to close things out, and the senior McAvoy will serve. And it's overpassed. Close up to the net. That's 3, and it doesn't go over. It's game point, match point for the Patriots. 24-15. Mika McAvoy will serve. And it's an ace for McAvoy. For the first time ever, the Washington Patriots defeat Spring Mills on their home court. 3-1. 25-15 goes set number 4. Spring Mills took out the third set to prevent the sweep, but Washington gets it done.
Very special night for them, as you just said, Dylan. The first time they've ever won at the Cardinal Coliseum, and we mentioned it earlier. Coach Nolan has definitely changed the culture of Washington volleyball for the better. They've had very impressive wins each time that we've been here, and we look forward to seeing some more wins from them throughout the rest of the season. It was a hard-fought match. You got to see some positive things from Spring Mills. They were able to get set number 3 and make things interesting, but overall, Washington was the better team tonight.
Yeah, young players really got things done for Spring Mills. Players like Sasha Connor and Maddie McDaniel off the bench, who didn't see action in the first 2 sets but came in the third, and her serves led to a 9-point run to Spring Mills, which I think almost single-handedly, you could say, that run kept them from being swept in this game.
Oh, 100%. That was the difference maker because it gave Spring Mills such a huge lead that Washington was just unable to come back from. McDaniel with the serves and even with some digs throughout those volleys, and Washington was able to contain when McDaniel was serving, though, in the fourth set, not allow her to get long rallies. And because of that, they got another huge win in set number 4.
Because in the end, Washington was able to keep themselves composed after losing the third set, and they got the win. So, Colin, what are your closing thoughts on this matchup here as Washington gets another win, second in 7 days in the EPAC after not really getting much of anything early on in the season?
I enjoyed being back on the headset with you again. Hopefully, Jim, feel better soon and that you're back, I believe, Thursday next week when we get to see now Martinsburg and Spring Mills. And then we'll have on Tuesday next week, first time we get to see Jefferson. So that should be fun as well against Martinsburg, correct?
I believe you're right there, Colin.
So that is Martinsburg at Jefferson. We'll get to see the final EPAC team that we haven't seen so far. So,
yeah, one that we haven't gotten to see live and in person yet. We'll be able to complete the cycle of 6 teams there. But tonight, it's the Washington Patriots getting the win on the road for the first time ever at Spring Mills. They win in 4 sets, 3 sets to 1. For Braden Schaffner, our cameraman for this evening, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, Nick Verzolini back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin filling in for Jim Klein on color commentary. I'm Dylan Bishop. This has been EPAC Volleyball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
That concludes our coverage of West Virginia High School Volleyball featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Tonight's coverage was brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home, CMA Honda, Kelly Allstate Insurance, L.A. Roberts Jewelers, Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Milestone Realty, The Marius Group, Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Orsini's Home Store, Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Sutton and Janelle Law Firm, W. Harley Miller Systems. Keep it tuned to TV 10 for all your local high school sports coverage from around the Eastern Panhandle. All rights reserved.